Okay, it's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we got a bottle of AleSmith Grand Cru from the AleSmith Brewing Company in America. Look at that lovely 750ml bottle. It's got a nice gold foil sleeve. Let's get that off to reveal the cork and the cage. No cork and cage. Okay, which actually I prefer because they kind of go bang. Right, let's get this beer out into a glass and see what we get. Plain gold cap on this one. Okay, lovely smoke on the opening. I had a feeling it was going to do that. It's a Belgian style ale. There we go. So, quite lively. Loads of carbonation rushing up the middle. You can hear it hissing, listen. Hear that? But what a lovely glass of beer we have in our hands here. It's a deep chestnut colour looking beer. It's a one finger, slightly off-white tan coloured head. Look at them lovely bubbles rising up slowly, which means it's got a nice thickish consistency to the beer. It's clear, but I gotta get my nose into this beer. That smells lovely. I'm picking up like an oaked, cherry, loads of Belgian yeast, loads of Belgian yeasty esters. It's that fruity kind of slightly lemony farmhousey kind of aroma. Slightly funky, but boy, it's got that candied fruit and it's quite perfumed. I have to dive into this. It smells fantastic. Cheers everyone. Oh wow. The first thing I wanted to look at in this beer, what I wanted to kind of clear in my mind, is it's 10% ABV. Does the beer hide that ABV of 10%? And yes, it does. It's a candied fruit, it's a cherry. It's a nice spice with a lovely hoppy bitterness. And I'm going to say traditional, either Belgian hops or British hops used in this one. It's a little earthy. It's perfumed, it's floral. It's got that Belgian mustiness that goes so fantastically well with this style of beer. It's hard to explain. Any closer to the left or any closer to the right in terms of flavour, if it veered off any more, it would be like an aftershavey kind of fruity, aftershavey tasting beer. But it's not that. It's not that whatsoever. It just reminds me ever so, it kind of veers off in that direction and then turns sharply back. I'm picking up toffee, I'm picking up caramel, I'm picking up hints of chocolate even in this beer. I believe this bottle has been aged for a while. It seems, I don't know, it seems to me, I'd love to know the bottling date on this, but it's from San Diego, AleSmith from San Diego. I would love to know, because you can certainly age this for years, and I think a beer like this would get better with age. Next, I want to talk about the mouthfeel. The mouthfeel is lovely and silky and smooth, and it's medium. The carbonation mixed with that mouthfeel just lifts the beer a little bit. It kind of just, it pushes it onto the top of the palate and inside of the part of your mouth where you want the beer to hit, to get the maximum amount of flavour from the beer. And the carbonation does that. Pardon me. This is a cross between a really good British English strong ale, like a Scottish wee heavy, with them lovely caramel, hints of chocolate, toffee notes, that breadiness, that maltiness. It reminds me a little bit of a wee heavy, but then it does with the Belgium yeast. It is a Belgium style beer. It just seems to be a bit of a cross, which makes it even more interesting. But them lovely fruity flavours, them lovely cherry, white pepper spice, it's spicy as well, which is another trait, another part of the Belgium yeast strain. Right, let's wash this beer around, let's shake it around in the glass, let's show you the quality of this stuff. Look at that. Fabulous. Right, AleSmith Grand Cru at 10% ABV. I picked it up from beersofeurope.co.uk. It was a little bit more than I would usually pay for a beer, but I was so impressed with this Speedway Stout and their nut brown ale. It was such a good beer. That was carbonated as well, that kind of went everywhere, but this wasn't too bad. It's just, I thought to myself, AleSmith, I've heard some great things, I've tried two of their beers, I am going to spend a little bit more money on this Grand Cru, and I'm so pleased I have. It's a wonderful beer. It's a beer I will share with my wife now. We will go and sit down and enjoy this for the rest of the evening, and that is exactly how this beer should be drunk, not rushed. I know I'm drinking it quite quickly, but it is for reviewing purposes. I do like to give as many flavours to you guys as possible and to show you the beer, even how it warms up over the minutes I review the beer. But I'm going to give this a rating, and I'm going to go and sit down with this. Ah, it's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful stuff. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. AleSmith Grand Cru at 10% ABV is worth a shot. It's worth it. It's a very, very good beer. Put your comments in the comments box. Please subscribe to our daily beer reviews, and cheers.